Hey there, I hope you're doing well. So here's the deal. I recently broke up with my boyfriend, Alex. I hope you just change your names. Because he was just not a good fit for me. He was always so critical of me. Always putting me down and making me feel like I wasn't good enough. I think you're being a little unfair with Alex. No. Okay. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ended things. Good for you. That's what I'm talking about. That's really good. Nothing is harder than leaving someone who is not good for you. For example, right? There's a form of violence that people don't get. Violence is hurting things, right? For example, eating junk food is a form of violence towards your body. Meaning, you're hurting your body by eating food that inflames it, eating food that hurts it, eating food that destroys you on the inside. Not eating healthy is a form of self-violence. And also, that violence is also pleasurable. And that's why a lot of people would choose to be violent against themselves than to quit something that provides some form of emotional pleasure and some release, right? So a lot of the times we incite violence on our own selves by staying with people who are toxic, yet who are pleasurable at the same time, right? Because there's the element of toxic relationships is not it's not just negative emotions, it's also highs. And so we stay in those relationships because they give us some form of self-esteem, even though at the same time they're bringing us down. What it does is that it brings you down and momentarily lifts you up. But the truth is, where it's lifting you up is nowhere near your baseline level of happiness, which might be here. But because it's lifting you up, even though it doesn't take you to that baseline, it creates the illusion that we have self-esteem, when in reality, your self-esteem is so low, but you're so deep in rock bottom that you're not aware how low you really are. So it's good that you left. It's really good. But now Alex is back in my life and he's telling me that he's changed. Okay, so I don't know, you didn't tell me how long he's been away from your life, but it seems like, I'm assuming that when he was away, you moved on. I'm assuming you didn't go from him, you didn't come to him, he came to you. So I'm assuming you worked on yourself, right? That's my assumption here, because he's the one that came back, not you. Ladies, dicks are like boomerangs. They always come back. That's something you gotta understand. And if somebody's toxic to you and you broke up with them, you better block them. Because like a boomerang, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back like a murderer who always comes back to the scene. They always go back to where they inflicted damage. And now he's telling me that he's changed. People never do things just once. Personally, honestly, I sound negative here, but I don't believe that a lot of people could change. Not because they can't, but because they're not willing to really change.
The most significant indicator of people's character comes through their actions over time. Despite what people say about the lessons they have learned, for example, Howard Hughes, and how they have changed over the years, you will inevitably notice the same actions and decisions repeating in the course of their life. In these decisions, they reveal their character. You must take notice of any salient forms of behavior: disappearing when there is too much stress, not completing an important piece of work, turning suddenly belligerent when challenged, or conversely, suddenly rising to the occasion when given responsibility. With this fixed in your mind, you do some research into their past. You look at other actions you have observed that fit into this pattern, now in retrospect. You pay close attention to what they do in the present. You see their actions not as isolated incidents, but as parts of a compulsive pattern. If you ignore the pattern, it is your own fault.
Like, call me negative, but when it comes to this type of stuff, very rarely do people actually change. Very rarely. And when they do, applaud. But I'm not taking that chance. Sorry. He wants to make things right and show me that he is a better person. I'm torn because on one hand, I really cared about him, and there's a part of me that wants to believe that he's telling the truth.
Once again, those who make a show or display of innocence are the least innocent of all. You can recognize these supposed non-players by the way they flaunt their moral qualities, their piety, their exquisite sense of justice. But since all of us hunger for power, and almost all of our actions are aimed at gaining it, the non-players are merely throwing dust in our eyes, distracting us from their power plays with their air of moral superiority. If you observe them closely, you will see, in fact, that they are often the ones most skillful at indirect manipulation, even if some of them practice it unconsciously.
But on the other hand, I'm scared that he's just going to hurt me again. You gotta understand is that when you move on, people lose that power they had over you, right? A lot of the times, people are not as confident as they appear to be on the outside. A lot of the times, people are confident only because you're giving them the power. And most likely because you didn't go back to him. He was missing that power he had over you. Robert Greene, let her know about that.
The feeling of having no power over people and events is generally unbearable to us. When we feel helpless, we feel miserable. No one wants less power. Everyone wants more. In the world today, it is dangerous to seem too power-hungry, to be overt with your power moves.
And so, because of that, because he's missing that power, they'll try to come back to you to regain that power they had over you. Because it's intoxicating. And the only way they yield that power is through a physical presence. He realizes that most likely you're going to move on from him. And that you're going to forget him as time fades away. And so he's trying to reintroduce himself into your life once again because he knows that if he had you once, he can have you again. And you've been doing well. And now that you're happy, and happiness to him means no power over you. That's what that means. He means powerlessness. And you got to understand, people, when you're dating someone and they look so powerful in your eyes, it's only because you love them. And it's only because you are their source of power. You are their source of power. They're using you for power. And if you pull away, you'll notice that a lot of the times they go manic, they go crazy.
Everyone has a source of power on which he or she depends. When you look at your rivals, search below the surface for that source, the center of gravity that holds the entire structure together. That center can be their wealth, their popularity, a key position, a winning strategy. Hitting them there will inflict disproportionate pain. Find what the other side most cherishes and protects. That is where you must strike.
They start telling you things to hurt you, to get you emotional, so that your decision doesn't become rational, but rather emotional. They try to put you in that vulnerable position. And all you have to do to reclaim your power is to remove their physical presence, because that's the only way they operate. He wants to make things right now and show me that he's a better person. I understand that words are just smoke screens to deceive you. A lot of the times, people just tell you everything you want to hear in order to get you emotionally hooked.
The key is to see words as a tool not for communicating true thoughts and feelings, but for confusing, delighting, and intoxicating. The difference between normal language and seductive language is like the difference between noise and music. Promises and flattery are music to anyone's ears. This is language designed to move people and lower their resistance. It is language designed for them. Its purpose is not to express a truth or a real feeling, but only to create an effect on the recipient.
It's better to focus on their actions than their words. Their actions will reveal the truth most 90% of the times. Forget what he's saying. Look at the past and don't forget the past. Remember what he did to you. It's better to move on. Like, why go back to someone who has a history of hurting you? You know what I'm saying? By the way, if any of you guys want to ask these types of questions, you could go to my website in the description down below and ask these questions, and I'll answer them. And we're having a workshop in London at the end of July. You can purchase your tickets in the description down below. It's going to be about how to develop charisma. And then after that, we're doing a few workshops in this. You can see your city in the United States here. It's about developing feminine energy. You can click on the description down below to pre-order your tickets right now. Okay. So yeah, she says, I'm torn because on one hand, I really cared about him, and there's a part of me that wants to believe. Yeah, but on the other hand, I'm scared that he's just hurting me again. It's funny, right? You see her two brains. You see her rational side, and you see her emotional side. The emotional side is slowly dying as time fades away. Alex has some serious flaws. You know, we gotta change up this name, man. We gotta change up this name, people. The people, don't be sending me a bunch of Alexes down. He can be very selfish and manipulative, always trying to get his way. When we went on a date recently, look, man, you cannot be cabeza dura, man. You can't be hard-headed. Okay, let's read. He showed me a different side of himself. Oh, what a good actor. I mean, look, man, look. He was kind and caring, and he really seemed to be making an effort to be a better person. What, did he also bring a doctor's note? Ladies and gentlemen, people are a victim of their own behavior, of their own biology. And this is the thing, right? It's funny, right? When you take their power away, all of a sudden they start acting well. This is the power of no contact, actually. That's a funny thing. You know, we could also talk about this from another perspective. And their power base, their power comes from their presence, their ability to control you through their presence. Listen to what Robert Greene says.
The most visible thing about power is its outward manifestation, what its witnesses see and feel. An army has its size, its weaponry, its shows of discipline, its aggressive maneuvers. Individuals have many ways of showing their position and influence. It is the nature of power to present a forceful front, to seem menacing and intimidating, strong and decisive. But this outward display is often exaggerated or even downright deceptive, since power does not dare show its weaknesses. And beneath the display is the support on which power rests, its center of gravity.
When you start showing them that you're willing to live without them, it strips them of their power, and it makes them more complacent and more malleable. That's a fact. But to me, this works when the person is being distant, is pulling away, or the relationship is getting cold. Okay, sometimes distance is important, right? Because when you create the absence and the presence, the undulation of both creates respect, right? But not when they're being toxic. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not what I'm talking about. You do not leave space when somebody's being toxic. Being critical, putting me down to make me feel like I wasn't good enough, that's completely different. That is a vulture. That is a parasite. That is a virus that needs to be taken out. And this is him being sweet and nice. He's only hiding his fangs so that when you open up, all of a sudden you're gonna see the wolf that's behind the sheep. Okay. He was kind and caring. Okay, making an effort to be a better person. So I'm not sure what to do. Should I give him a second chance? Yeah, look, man, when you get over a guy, they usually start behaving well. Look, people put on an act until they get comfortable. And when they get comfortable, they show you their fangs. When they get comfortable, they show you their demon. You forget about their demons a lot because of the natural human bias to remember the good and ignore the bad. Yeah. Until all of a sudden they realize you're comfortable with them. And then they start testing you. One little remark, just to see your reaction.
First, people are more likely to attack you if they see you as weak or vulnerable. Second, they cannot know for sure that you're weak. They depend on the signs you give out through your behavior, both present and past. Third, they are after easy victories, quick and bloodless. That is why they prey on the vulnerable and weak. Deterrence is simply
one little toxic thing just to see the reaction. And once they see you're back in their hooks, then they start bringing out the devil that's inside of them. Then they start bringing out that demon you remembered.
Deterrence is simply a matter of turning this dynamic around, altering any perception of yourself as weak and naive, and sending the message that battle with you will not be as easy as they had thought.
This is only an act. This is Lucifer. Like he's putting on an act. By the way, Lucifer's a nice name, people. I don't know. It's a nice name. Lucifer Perez, Lucifer Smith. It's a nice name. You imagine dating a man named Lucifer? It's kind of hot. So I'm not sure what to do. Should I give him a second chance, and see if he really has changed, or should I move on with my life and find somebody who treats me better? Hello. I could really use some advice on this. Thanks for listening. Okay, look. First of all, you could have changed his name to Derek. That would have been fine with me. But this person is only putting on an act. It's not real, in my opinion. And the only reason why I'm saying it's not real is because it's not because you had to leave because he was negligent. That's completely different. Maybe he lost interest. That's completely different. It's the fact that he was toxic. When men see they have no power over you, they temporarily change to a paragon of virtue. They walk an embodiment of the Buddha temporarily until you relax, and then all of a sudden they go from slow to fast in aggressiveness. It's a strategy of war. Slow, fast.
slow, quick. In a world in which many people are indecisive and overly cautious, the use of speed will bring you untold power. Striking first before your opponents have time to think or prepare will make them emotional, unbalanced, and prone to error. When you follow with another swift and sudden maneuver, you will induce further panic and confusion. This strategy works best with a setup, a lull. Your unexpected action catches your enemy off guard. When you strike, hit with unrelenting force. Acting with speed and decisiveness will garner you respect, awe, and irresistible momentum.
And they only use their weakness, which is them changing, their vulnerability, them telling you how they changed, as a way to engage your emotions.
When you are weaker, never fight for honor's sake. Choose surrender instead. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror, time to wait for his power to wane. Do not give him the satisfaction of fighting and defeating you. Surrender first. By turning the other cheek, you infuriate and unsettle him. Make surrender a tool of power.
Move on. Don't engage in this. Don't continue it. Don't give it time. Don't give it effort. Move on with your life. You were doing well. Why ruin the change? You're only going to revert back. It's almost like an addict. I was addicted on crack, but they're offering me one little hit. Can I take a hit? Motherfucker, you better not take a hit. You don't want to be a crackhead again. Like one hit takes you back to that same space. Those neural connections, those neural pathways will become filled with blood, filled and recarved, and you're gonna be back at square one, and all of the progress will be lost. So it's better you move on. Don't pursue it. Okay? A lot of the times these situations are there to test you. They're testing whether or not you really changed, you really improved. Show yourself you moved on. Show yourself you really improved. You deserve better than what you're about to give to yourself by getting back with that guy. You know, you're strong. You were able to leave him without going back to him. Why start at square one? Why ruin the progress? Why do that to yourself again? Why put yourself through that pain again? Why deal with something you already overcame? It is not worth it. He is literally Satan's messenger of death. And sometimes we have to completely break with the past and keep looking forward. Because nothing good ever happens looking into the past. Nothing good ever happens pondering what could have been. It's the only thing that it brings is self-loathing and low self-esteem. See all the good things that happen as a result of it. How you improved yourself. How you got stronger. How you even feel better about yourself. I know that for sure. You feel way better about yourself because the way you are right now. Returning to the waste, to your vomit, only intoxicates you from within. It is self-violent. You're only hurting yourself. You're only creating violence to your own self. And you're worth more than that. You deserve better than that. You have my channel now. You can use these strategies and you can live a way better life than you did before. So don't return to that guy. Say no. Block him. Delete him. Start a new life. Change your name. Don't change your name. You could change up his name if you could. And just keep moving forward, because there is a better future. When you watch my channel and you do the strategies that I teach you and you actually do it, your life will never be the same. I know that for sure, because hundreds of people, thousands of people actually have told me that. You're no different. All right? Don't forget that you're strong, that you deserve better, that you deserve to be loved, that you deserve to be treated well, that you deserve to be talked to well. That since you started watching my channel, now you have the ability to meet men of quality and avoid toxic men. All right? You have to trust in yourself. You got this. All right? I know I look evil right now, but it's when I look at you like this, it's because I'm looking at you with a look of you have no idea what's coming to you. You actually just keep looking forward. Anyways, hope this video made sense. If you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, click on the description down below. You have the ability to ask me a question like this, or talk to me in private by clicking on the description down below. And attend our seminars in New York City, in London, and purchase the seminars that we're having all around the country in the United States in a few months. It's the first time I'm going to be going to LA, Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, and I think Miami. And yeah, so if you're there, or you could join our WhatsApp group in the description down below. And you could join you don't have to go to the seminar, but you could join the WhatsApp group so that you can meet other ladies who are into this type of content, and maybe you guys can meet up and be friends, right? And emotional mastery is out. This is my favorite course that I've created. It took me over 3 years. This course is everything that I teach. The mindfulness aspect of this channel, the most important aspect is, and if you are needy, if you're somebody who has an insecure attachment style, or an attachment style that sabotages your relationship, if you're unable to connect with people, if you have a lot of anxiety, because I also was a needy person. I also used to chase people when they used to pull away. If you're always baited into chasing when a guy pulls away and you cannot control that pattern, if your neediness always sabotages you, if you're too hard, emotionally too hard, or emotionally too soft, this course is the course for you. If you have a hard time applying the strategies that I teach, and you know what you have to do, but for some reason emotionally you can't, This course is specifically made for that. And the strategies that I've learned over the last 5 years are in this course. The basic package is a 5-week course. In each week, you're going to be able to join a WhatsApp group where you could contact me and I'll help you out through the course, and you can ask me questions and I answer those questions on Zoom, or I'll make a video and add it to the course. But the point is, this course is specifically geared towards people who feel like they need to master their emotional life. So the basic package, as we can see here, this is all of the things we're going to learn on this course. And we have 3 packages. One, we have the basic package, which is $199. And the next package, $299, which is the bronze package, whereas if you get the 5-week course, you get the walking meditation, the compassion meditation, the breathing meditation. These are long meditation sessions that you guys can listen to. The what's next meditation, Jesus Christ, the teachings of the Buddha, which is pretty much a 4-week. It's not going to be 4 weeks, to be honest with you. We might extend it. We might make this course longer, like even a few months, to be honest with you. But for now, this is the course, 4-week series after the course that you get, where I will be teaching you guys straight from the teachings of the Buddha. It's like Bible class, people, because I was a Bible teacher before. Or you get the platinum package, where not only do you get all of those bonuses, but also you get a complimentary one-on-one call with me at half price, along with 3 bonus meditations on top of all of the ones that you have. The bronze package, $299, and the platinum package at $399. So click on the description down below to purchase it right now, and I'll see you guys inside. I swear to God, if you do what this course says, neediness out the window. I am so sure you have a 14-day money back guarantee. Because if you don't like the first 2 classes, people, the first 2 classes are one of the biggest bangers in terms of like spiritual content that you'll ever see. I know that for sure. And if you don't like the first 2 classes, unfortunately, you're not going to like the rest of the course. I'll give you your money back, no questions asked. Because if you like the first 2 classes, I know for sure everything else in that course is going to be worth it, because they are the same quality and even better. I can promise you that, ladies and gentlemen. So click on the description down below where it says purchase emotional mastery, so that you can start with your first week and you can add yourself to the WhatsApp group, and I'll see you guys inside. I'm so excited for you.